best fits between player and team that picked him? Go.
I'm going to go with the freaking Philadelphia Eagles. Jihaad Campbell with the Eagles at 31. See, this is what happens when you build the perfect team, and Howie Roseman and company kind of read the board the right way and get a guy in Jihaad Campbell that I think is on a lot of people's, he was the top 15 player in the draft.
Hey, Woody here. What do you say? Guys, thanks for joining today. Guys, what a pick. Jihaad Campbell. Honestly, I didn't even think the Eagles would be considering a linebacker in the first, so I wasn't really focused on him until maybe picks 25. That's when I started to think, oh, you know what? He could possibly be a target. And what a target, too, because he is the perfect fit in Vic Fangio's defense. He's exactly the kind of player he likes. He's also a local, so you know he bleeds green. And I'm very happy with this pick. I couldn't be more happier. He's only 21. We got time. We can take time with his injury, make sure he's 100% ready to go. And I don't think he's just going to play linebacker. I think he's going to be used as a Swiss Army knife. We'll see him on the edge. We'll see him at linebacker. We'll see him all over the place. This guy can do it all, kind of like Zach Bond. He's just that kind of player. Really, really surprised by this pick, but very, very happy. I'm a big proponent of taking linebackers in the first. It was one of the things I disagreed with the Eagles over years. It's just not valuing the linebacker position enough, and we've seen what the linebacker position was able to do for us last year, and man, are we set up. And I do believe he may be playing at edge a lot too, getting that pass rush, so that also fills that need too a little bit. So very happy for my man Jihaad. Now I wanted to take a look at going the day two, some of the players that are still available. So I was just going through different things, and a lot of people still want a cornerback. We still need a safety. We still need a tight end. We still need, in my opinion, I would still like another edge rusher, and I'd like a defensive tackle. So Will Johnson's still available, and I think, obviously a lot of us wouldn't mind getting another cornerback. So a lot of these are good picks. And my boy Mike Green, I know he's probably not on the Eagles draft board, but at some point I would just consider taking a guy of this immense talent. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I don't have the information on him, and if it's bad, it's bad, and he's off the board. But we got a couple other edge rushers still available, as you see. And how about Shedeur Sanders falling out of the first? I actually think he's going to be a decent quarterback. So hopefully he ends up somewhere good. He gets a lot of hate. I don't really understand it. I kind of like the guy. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Hopefully he ends up in a good situation. If you don't get drafted in the first round, then you want to be like the Cooper DeJean and go to a championship caliber team, So yeah, we're just taking a look at some of these guys. So there's still a couple safeties available. More edge rushers. Trey Amos, a lot of people had Eagles getting him at 32. So I would love to see Howie Roseman consider trading up in this draft. Really be aggressive. We got a lot of picks over the next 2 years, so I have no problem packaging, future picks and trying to move up in this draft and getting somebody, filling a need, a tight end, a safety, a cornerback. There's a lot of good players. So yeah, I would love a tight end. I could see them going guard in the first too. Man, I would love it if they could somehow come out with I would still take a chance on Mike Green, but I don't know the details. So anyways, safeties, cornerbacks, we got a lot. Let's look here. I'm looking at different things. Safety. Okay, safety is a big need. I understand. I have no issues going for a safety in the second, maybe trading up and just getting the best guy, or still addressing the edge. You can't have too many defensive line players. But obviously, we know that we have a big need at safety, a big need at quarterback. Tight end, we might have a big need. I don't know for sure. It depends on whether or not the Eagles are going to, keep Dallas Goedert. Me personally, I would prefer that they just keep him one more year, let him walk in free agency next year, and then just getting a compensatory pick for him that way, because nobody's going to give us anything. Honestly, even if somebody would give me a third in 2026, it's not worth it. I would give up a third just to have a really good tight end on my roster and helping us have a chance at repeating, and then just taking a compensatory pick when he walks the next year. So to me, that's the best way to handle tight end. But Eagles very well, there's going to be a couple tight ends available. I do like Kevin Winston from Penn State, safety. I think he's a really good safety, but he did have that torn ACL, so who knows where he goes and how he falls. But there's still I'm looking through these lists, man. There's a lot of good players. There's defensive tackles. You could go that route, get some more depth at the defensive tackle. I still think, okay, let's say if the Eagles aren't going to consider Mike Green, maybe would they consider going edge, Scorton? I mean, a lot of people had him going to us at 32. Maybe not a bad pick, but I feel like Jihad's also going to be used as a pass rusher as well. So I feel like in the Eagles' minds, they're going to look to address safety or cornerback or possibly offensive guard or even tight end. I think those are the four picks we may see. Possibly a defensive tackle, though. It depends if they trade up or not. But if you're going to trade up, I really think maybe you trade up for a cornerback or a safety in the second round. That's kind of where my head's at. What do you guys think we should do going into day 2 of the draft? So you got several safeties still on the board. Let's see who else we got here. Mason Taylor, yeah, he's a really some people like him, some people don't, but I'm okay with that. But if Goddard's gonna stay, I'd rather address cornerback or safety. That's kind of where my head is right now. Several defensive tackles, but I feel like you could get a defensive tackle maybe in the third. So I feel like let's go cornerback, or safety in the second. That's kind of the best path I see going forward. We already addressed Jihaad, already kind of addressed. We're going to use him a linebacker, probably use him at edge too. So that kind of addressed those two areas of need a little bit. Though if the Eagles decided to go Mike Green, I would be all for that. Okay, so you can see, guys, there's a lot of players, man. I wish we had 2 second-round picks, but we're picking at the end of the second round. So at best, I think you move up and take somebody. I think that's possible to see Eagles move up. I don't know how much it's going to cost to get up to the top 30. So we're picking at 64 and we're picking at 96 today. So maybe you move from 64 up to 40s or 50s. Maybe, and using it for future picks to move up. That's possible. But the other thing is the Eagles might just stay put. There's a lot of good players on the board. I like Trey Amos a lot. This would be a great pick. I think he'll go probably in the 40 range. That's my guess. Now, I'm sure Shedeur Sanders will go at the top of the second, I would think. I mean, I don't know how far this guy's gonna slip. Maybe Cleveland should take him. And Cleveland stole the draft yesterday. Jacksonville, I'm sorry. That was the worst trade I've ever seen in my life. I mean, if you're gonna give up that kind of haul, you better be drafting a quarterback prospect. But to draft a cornerback wide receiver player who I like, but my God, you have a first next year, a second. I mean, you move up 3, 4 spots. Who else was trading up Cleveland? I don't really believe anyone was. They just way overpaid, and I don't know. I kind of feel bad for all my friends that are. I lived in Jacksonville for a while, so I feel bad for all my friends who are Jacksonville fans because man, I don't know what they're doing. But anyways, Shedeur Sanders, I think he'll go pretty early tonight. Mike Green's really interesting. If the Eagles were to, if he falls in striking distance, and the Eagles were to trade up and take him, I'd be 100% good with that. I just think this guy could come in right away and play. He has allegations, yes, they're concerning, but this guy is ready to play now at a high level. Anyways, guys, who are you looking for tonight? Do you think the Eagles will trade up? And if so, what do you think they're going to have to give up? Anyways, let me know down below. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you liked our pick. Jihaad Campbell, who would have thought, a linebacker in the first? I'll take it. Howie Roseman strikes again. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.